Hello everyone, I am Prabhake, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Today, we'll study about the RAM and ROM memories. Static memories. Diagram gives you a clear picture about a static RAM cell. Memories that consists of circuits capable of retaining their states as long as power is applied are called as static memories. Figure shows static RAM cell. In short, we call it as SRAM. SRAM cell is designed with two inverters which are cross-linked like a latch. This latch is made connection to 2-bit line along with two transistor T1 and T2. Here, these are the inverter latch and which are connected to the 2-bit line with the help of transistor T1 and T2. One bit line will be complement of other. Both transistors are capable to alter their modes under control of word line, and this entire process is controlled by address decoder. When word line goes to ground level, then both the transistors get turned off and latch starts to retain its own state. Static RAM working is divided into two parts called read and write operation. Read operation. In order to read the state of SRAM cell, both the switches T1 and T2 are closed while activating the word line. If the cell is in the state 1, the signal on bit line B is high and the signal on the bit line B bar is low. The opposite is also true if the cell is in the state 0. Thus, B and B bar line complement of each other. Sense and write circuit which are connected to the right side of the 2-bit line, they monitor the states B and B dash and finally convert into output respectively. Write operation. In the write operation, sense or write circuit allows to drive bit lines B and its complement B dash, and then it provides an accurate value on the bit line B and B dash as well as go to the active word line initialization. This forces the cell into a corresponding state. The required signals on the bit lines are generated by the sensor or write circuit. Diagram shows you a CMOS memory cell. The CMOS memory cell consists of a transistor latch which is made up of 4 transistors T3, T4, T5, T6 and connected to a supply VDD supply, and this complete latch is connected to the bit line B and B dash through T1 and T2 transistor respectively. About the CMOS cell. From the figure it is clear that the transistor pairs T3, T5 and T4, T6 form the inverters in the latch. For read operation, when cell is in state 1, the voltage at point X is maintained high by having transistor T3 and T6 in on condition while the T5 and T4 in the off condition. Thus, if T1 and T2 are turned on with the help of an word line activation, then the bit lines B and B dash will have high and low signal respectively. When cell is in state 0, the voltage at point X is maintained low by having the transistor T3 and T6 in off condition while T4 and T5 in the on condition. Thus, if T1 and T2 are turned on with the activation of word line, then the bit lines B and B dash will have low and high signals respectively. For write operation, With the help of word line signal, that is the address, the cell is selected for write permission. Then T1 and T2 gate terminal of the MOSFET gets required voltage level. To write logic 1 into the cell, bit line B is equal to 1 and B dash is equal to 0. T1 and T2 is turned on due to the activation of a word line. Then X point will become logic 1 and T3, T6 will be turned on. T4 and T5 will be turned off, indicating the cell is storing logic 1. Similarly, to write logic 0 into the cell, bit line B is equal to 0 and B dash is equal to 1. T1 and T2 is turned on using the word line, making X is equal to 0 and T3 and T6 off and T4 and T5 on state, indicating that the cell is storing logic 0. Asynchronous DRAMs. Asynchronous DRAM is an older type of DRAM used in first personal computer. It is called asynchronous because memory access is not synchronized with the computer system clock. In modern PCs, use of SDRAM, which is a synchronized DRAM, responds to read and write operation in synchrony with the signal of the system clock. Static RAM consists of circuits that are capable of retaining their state as long as power is applied. Volatile memories because their contents are lost when the power is interrupted in static RAMs. Access time of the static RAMs are in the range of few nanoseconds. And the static RAMs cost is usually high. These are the disadvantages of static RAMs. Now coming to the dynamic RAMs, in short we call it as DRAMs, do not retain their state indefinitely. Contents must be periodically refreshed with the help of a refreshing circuits. The content may be refreshed while accessing them for reading. Diagram gives you the dynamic RAM cell consisting of a transistor and a capacitor. Dynamic DRAMs are cheap and area efficient, but they cannot retain their state indefinitely. Need to be periodically refreshed. At the time of reading and writing the bit value in this DRAM cell, the address line is activated. The transistor present in the circuit behaves as a switch. That is, when it is closed by allowing the current to flow, if the voltage applied to the address line, and it will be open if no voltage is applied to this address line. For write operation, a voltage signal is employed to the bit line where high voltage shows 1 and the low voltage indicates 0. A signal is then used to address line with enable transferring of the charge to the capacitor. When the address line is chosen for executing the read operation, the transistor turns on and the charge stored on the capacitor is supplied out onto the bit line and to a sense amplifier. Continuing with the asynchronous DRAMs, this diagram gives you a 16 megabit DRAM chip which is having a capacity to store 4096 into 512 into 8 bits of data, and this complete cell is arranged in the form of an array. To address this memory array, totally 21 address lines are required. Those are designated as A0 to A20. A0 to A18 are given to the column address latch and A9 to A20 are given to the row address latch. In this asynchronous DRAM chip, each row can store 512 bytes of data. 12 bits are used to select the row, that is A9 to A20, and 9 bits are selected for to select a group in the row with the help of a column address latch. The total 21 bits of address lines are required. First, apply the row address, then RAS signal latches. That is the row address signal latches the row address, then apply the column address. CAS will latch the column address. The timing of the memory unit is controlled by the specialized unit called as control unit that will generate RAS and CAS signal. This is a asynchronous DRAM. Fast page mode technique is incorporated. That is, when the DRAM in the last slide is accessed, the content of all 4096 cells in the selected row are sensed, but only 8 bits are placed on the data lines with the help of D0 to D7 data lines selected by A0 to A18 column address. Fast page mode makes it possible to access the other bytes in the same row without having to reselect the row again. The latch is added at the output of the sense amplifier in each column, and this type of array is good for bulk transfer. Coming to the synchronous DRAMs. This block diagram gives you the synchronous DRAM chip. The operation of SDRAMs are controlled by the clock signal here. Operation is directly synchronized with the processor clock signal. The output of sense circuits are connected to the latch. During the read operation, the content of the cells in each row are loaded into the latches. During a refresh operation, the contents of the cell are refreshed without changing the contents of the latches. Data held in the latches corresponds to the selected columns are transferred to the. Now we will move on with the next topic, that is read-only memory. In short, we call it as ROM. This diagram gives you the types of ROM. ROMs are classified into PROMs, EEPROMs, EEPROM, Flash EEPROM and Mask ROM. This gives the circuit diagram of single ROM cell consisting of transistor and a fuse. The base of the transistor is connected to word line and the collector is connected to the bit line. ROM is used for storing programs that are permanently resident in the computer and for the table of constant that do not change their value once the production of the computer is completed. The RAM portion of a main memory is needed for storing an initial program called as bootstrap loader, and they are not connected to the store 1 are connected to the store 0 depending upon the status of the fuse P. Coming to the PROMs, programmable read-only memories. A programmable read-only memory is a form of a digital memory where the setting of each bit is locked by fuse or an anti-fuse. It is one type of ROM. The data in them are permanent and cannot be changed. Creating ROM chips totally from scratch is a time-consuming and very expensive in small quantities. For this reason, mainly developers have created a ROM known as a programmable read-only ROM. Blank PROM chips can be bought inexpensively and coded by anyone with a special code tool called as program. Programmable read-only memories have grid of columns and rows just as an ordinary ROMs. The difference is that every intersection of the column and row in the PROM chip has a fuse connecting them. PROMs can only be programmed once. They are more fragile than ROMs. A jolt of static electricity can easily cause fuse in the PROM to burn out, changing essential bits from 1 to 0. But blank PROMs are inexpensive and are great of prototyping the data for a ROM before committing to the costly ROM fabrication process. We'll move on with the ROM. Now the next type of ROM is EPROM, Erasable Programmable Read-Only Memory. This diagram gives you the EPROM ICs. EPROM or Erasable Programmable Read-Only Memory is a type of a programmable read-only memory chip that retains its data when its power supply is switched off. Computer memory that can retrieve stored data after power supply has been turned off and back on is called non-volatile. Working with ROMs and PROMs can be wasteful business. Even though they are inexpensive per chip, the cost and can add up over the time. EPROM chips can be rewritten many times. Erasing an EPROM requires a special tool that emits certain frequency of ultraviolet light. EPROMs are configured using EPROM programmer that provides voltage at specified levels depending upon the type of EPROM used. Erasable programmable read-only memory. To rewrite an EPROM, you must erase it first. To erase it, you must apply a level of energy strong enough to break through the negative electrons blocking the floating gate. In standard EPROM, this is the best accomplished with a UV light at the frequency of 253.7 Hz. Because this particular frequency will not penetrate most plastics or glasses, each EPROM chip has a quartz window on top of it. The EPROM must be very close to the eraser's light source, within an inch or two to work properly. An EPROM eraser is not selective, it will erase the entire EPROM chip. The EPROM must be removed from the device. It is in and placed under the UV light of the EPROM eraser for several minutes. An EPROM that is left under too long can become over-erased. Coming to the next type of the ROM, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. In short, we call it as EEPROM. EEPROM is a user modifiable read-only memory that can be erased and reprogrammed repeatedly through the application of higher than the normal electrical voltage. And unlike EPROMs chips, EEPROMs do not need to be removed from the computer in order to erase the data. Through EPROMs are big step up for the PROMs, but they still require a dedicated equipment and a labor inexpensive process to remove and reinstall them each time whenever the change is necessary. Also, changes cannot be made incrementally to an EPROM, but whole chip will be erased. Whereas in a EEPROM, there is an advantage that only part of the memory can be erased. The chip do not have to be removed for the re-return operation. The entire chip does not have to be completely erased to change the specific portion of it. Changing the contents does not require an additional dedicated equipment. Instead of UV light, you can return the electrons into the cell EPROMs and EEPROMs to a normal with a localized application of electric field to each cell. This erases the target itself of the EEPROM, which can then be rewritten. EEPROMs are changed one byte at a time, which makes them versatile but very slow. Manufacturer responded to these limitations with a flash memory, a type of EEPROM that uses in circuit wiring to erase by applying an electric field to the entire chip or to predetermined sections of the chip called blocks. Flash memory works much faster than the traditional EEPROMs because it writes data in chunks, usually 512 bytes in size instead of 1 byte at a time. Flash memory. Flash memory is a non-volatile memory, and this chip is used for storage and for transferring data between personal computer and digital devices. It has the ability to be electronically reprogrammed and erased. It is often found in your USB flash drives, MP3 players, digital cameras, and solid-state drives. Flash memory is also known as flash storage, and it is a type of non-volatile memory that erases data in units called blocks and rewrites the data at the byte level. Flash memory is widely used for storage and data transfer in consumer devices, enterprise systems, and industrial applications. Flash memory retains data for an extended period of time, regardless of whether a flash-equipped device is powered on or off. The low power consumption of flash memory makes it attractive for the use in portable equipment which are battery driven. Single flash chips do not provide sufficient storage capacity for the application of any industrial or home appliances or any other machines. Larger memory modules consisting of number of chips are needed. There are two popular choices for the implementation of such a modules called as flash cards and flash drives. Flash cards. One way of constructing a larger module is to mount flash chips on a small card, such as flash cards have a standard interface that makes them usable in a variety of products. A card is usually plugged into a conveniently accessible slot. Flash cards comes in variety of memory size, typically ranging from 8, 32, and 64 megabytes. A minute of music can be stored in about 1 megabyte of memory using an MP3 encoding format. Hence, 64 megabyte flash card can store 1 hour of music. Coming to the flash drives. Larger flash memory modules have been developed to replace the hard disk drives. These flash drives are designed to fully emulate the hard disk to the point that they can be fitted into a standard disk drive's base. However, the storage capacity of the flash drives are significantly lower compared to the magnetic hard disk. Currently, the capacity of flash drives is less than 1 gigabyte, in contrast to the hard disk which can store many gigabytes of information. The fact that flash drives are solid-state electronic devices that have movable parts provides some important advantages. Like they have a shorter seek and access time, which results in faster response. They have lower power consumption, which makes them attractive for battery-driven application, and they are also insensitive to vibrations. The disadvantage of flash drive hard disk drives are that is compared to the hard disk are they are smaller in capacity, higher cost per bit. Disk provide an extremely low cost per bit. Another disadvantage of flash memory is that it will deteriorate its data after when it is written many times. Thank you.